Hello guys, welcome to Smart Team by Masood. This is the third episode and the second part of the video for creating the grids from the CAD file in Revit using Dynamo. In the previous video, we learned how to create the grids using the Dynamo in the Revit file. Doesn't matter vertical or horizontal or even a curved grid. But we remember the name of the grids are not right, and at the last step we just assigned a random name to the grids. So in this session, in this video, we're going to filter the vertical and horizontal grids and assign the appropriate names, doesn't matter letter or number, to them. So as always, I've opened already the Dynamo file. Here is the general overview of the code. Do not worry, yes, I know it's a little bit maybe complicated. It seems a little bit complicated, but it's not. I'm going to explain it step by step. Okay, I would like to have a general overview of our script as we explained about the concept of Dynamo story in the previous video. So I'm going to imagine for you in Dynamo story for 2 days code. We need a code to every time we select the specific grid. For example, select the horizontal one or select the vertical ones. So this is the first option. We need to select the grids in order to change their names. Here I have to make a point that what is another reason that I have decided to provide these two tasks into different scripts. I mean, create the grids and naming them. Because maybe in your project or maybe another project, you have already had your grids in your project and you just want to change the names. So that's why I decided to provide it separately and provide a separate Dynamo layer. So in the first step, we need to select our grids, horizontal or vertical ones. Then after select them, we need, for example, to assign appropriate names. For example, a letter, a name, or maybe just like a number 1, 2, 3, or so on. And in the last step, we need to assign those names to the specific grids. So I put a note: select model elements. Pay attention that we have here like select model. Yeah, we need two. One is select model elements. This one, we used this one in the previous code because we just wanted to select the CAD file and it was just one object, the CAD file. But here, because we need to select multiple grids, so we have to use model elements. But once we select this one and we're going to Revit, for example, I want to choose this one, the horizontal one. Now here in our project, we have just grids. But maybe in your project you have all other objects here, maybe floor, maybe column, beam, anything. You have to filter them in order to just have the grids. Get back to the Dynamo, our grids are selected. Okay, how to filter the grids? Okay, we need to use an object type. This node with returns to us the type of the elements that we have selected. And in the last word in this kind of scripts, it returns off the type. For example, here, the elements that we selected are the grids. If we, for example, let me just put something like a, I don't know, like a wall or something, it doesn't matter. And again, I want to select exactly, get back to the Dynamo and run. Yes, as you can see here, we have all the grids and another one wall. But we don't need this wall, so we have to filter just the grids. So in order to do that, we use this node string.split that we used in the previous videos, and we put the separator dots in order to separate all the specific words of the scripts. Then we use transpose in order to just ask, for example, Revit. Let me Revit in the first list, then the elements. We need the last list. Let's check it. Yeah, the grid 1. This is the keyword for us in order to filter this list. We need equal, as the previous video. We learned that. and we put the keyword grid because we need the grid ones. Maybe you have other options, wall, beams, or anything else, but we put grid here because we just need the grid. And the list, and using a filter by bool mask and imports list elements, and then again I run the code again. Exactly here we would have the grid ones, or the in list, the true ones, and the walls or any other object in the out list, but we need the in list, which would be grid. Do not pay attention to the curves because I forgot to disconnect these nodes, but now I'm gonna explain that. Okay, here from now go on I will define for you different steps for our work. Okay, now we filter the grids. Now once we need to create the names, then filter the horizontal, filter the vertical, and in the last step we need to assign the names to the horizontal or vertical grids. First we're going to provide the nodes for the names. Okay, we got the list of the grids here. We need a range. I put a code block here because, for example, okay, for the names, for example, maybe you want to put 1 until the, for example, the number of the grids. How many steps? 1 by 1. This would be a code block in order to have the list of the names for our grids. Okay, so maybe you want to put instead of the number, maybe you want to put a letter A with the capital, or maybe any other things that you want. Maybe someone likes to put, for example, M. How to manage this? How to control this? So we need an if node. We put an if. We write this code block. Here I wrote it like that. So instead of the number of grids, I put hashtag item. This would be the number of the item. And instead of the M1 or anything else, I put A, like a variable. The number of the items would be equal to the number of the grids. So we need a list.count in order to count the list of the grids. Here we have, for example, from 0 to 7, 8 different grids, as you can see here. It would be the input of the item. But for the variable A, we will determine the A, and using the if node. I've put here a string. If you search here string, this one, I've just changed the name to grid name and put it as an input. If you put a letter like A or anything, A, B, C or anything, it would be input true for this. But if you put number here, we need a string to number node in order to, because this is a string, the type of this node. If you ever write here number, it would be consider this number as a string. So we need to change it to the number, string to number, and then put it in the false. Then in order to control that, we need a boolean. So if you put true, I wrote here for the name, and if you put it false for the number, as we explained it later before. And here the step would be 1 and 1. Here, for example, as I input is number, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the name. Let me delete this one. And here, so what is this if used for? If you consider in the Revit file, for the vertical ones, always Revit starting the naming from left to right. But for the horizontal ones, maybe sometimes if it is letter or number, it could be different. Sometimes it starts from the up, or sometimes it starts from the down. Or maybe in your project you want to start from bottom or from the top. Based on the requirement of your project, it doesn't matter. So in order to control this situation, we will put another if here, and for example, for the false, I put the result of this number, or maybe for the true, I put a list that reverse in order to just reverse this if it is needed for us. It depends on you, and also need a boolean for control the if clause. So now let's go and filter the horizontal and vertical grids. From the filter that we already done here, I get the inputs, the grids here for the horizontal grids. So this is the grid.curve that we need to let's say create here in the Dynamo. If you consider them, and if we use the curve at the start point, I select node. As you can see here, it would be visible here, the starting point of the grids. In these vectors, it represents the starting point of the curves, and if you're paying attention, for example, for the horizontal ones, the x value of all the horizontal lines, horizontal curves would be the same. Okay, except from this one, because I've selected the vertical one. Let me just select it again here. And get back to the Dynamo. Let me run once. There you go. Yes, and this, the last one is the curve, because the x for that one is a little bit maybe different. Yes, as you can see here, there is a difference for M7 and M1 with the curve here. So get back here, and in order to do that, here we have a 7 different types, 7 grids. Using a points.y, we need the y values, the y values of these points, as you can see here. But they are not sorted and they are not in right orders. So we need a node list.sort by key in order to make them by order. Why is so that like that? Because it's depends on the drawings in the AutoCAD. The one who create the drawings in the AutoCAD, maybe he first, for example, let's get back to the AutoCAD. Maybe he first draws this line and then this one and this one and this one, not in an order. As you remember in the previous video, the horizontal and vertical grids are existed, and we decided to, for example, add these curve ones in the last step. But as you can see here, this is, if we want to name that, this would be 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. So it's the reason why the lists are not in an orders here, and we need to sort them. After we sort them, we need an if clause. I will later explain it. Before that, I need to explain the vertical ones. The general script would be the same like here, but here we just need to get the point.x, because for the vertical ones we don't need here. We don't have them here because we just selected the horizontal one. In the vertical ones, the points x would be the same, and the the point y would be the same, and x values would be different, and we need to sort them using the same approach here. Then we need an if clause here, because if they are in a vertical ones, just use the true. If they are false, use, for example, if they are horizontal one, use the false values here, and the boolean in order to control them. And I put this, for example, true for vertical, horizontal false. And then yes, it's done. The last step, we need element.set parameter by name. The name of the parameter is name. If you, for example, select one grid, here we have this name, so we want to change this parameter of the grid. Yeah, here the name would be here, as I explained it before. The elements would be the result of this if. Okay, now we have selected the horizontal ones, and if you consider here, let me go back to the Revit. They are not in orders, M1, M8, or something like that. So as a name, we put here A, or let me, for example, put A capital. So, and I put the reverse here. Yeah, I put true for Philip. Let's try it, or maybe let's try first false. So I'm gonna run it. Okay, so it asks me for a unique name. Why so like that? Because we don't have an A name here. It should be wrong. Oh, okay, sorry, because here we have another true and false, because we put a letter, and for the letter we have to put in the true here. Okay, number for the false, and for the name is true. So now I again run the code. Yes, that's right. A, B, C, D, E, F, G in order. Maybe you need to make them reversely. So let Control Z in the Revit, and here put it in the true, the flip. Again run. Yes. There you go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all. We can also try it for the vertical ones, but in order to try that, let's close the code, and using the Dynamo player, I need to close it, and I put a Ctrl Z in order to make all the changes back. Go to the manage Dynamo player, and a few seconds later, okay, now we have Dynamo player here. Consider that we have to both code make the grids and name. So I want to delete all the grids here, and let's get back the CAD file. I wanna try both Dynamo player here. First, we need to make the grids. We just need to select the CAD file exactly, and then run the code. Select the layer that we want to make grid, if you remember exactly. Yes, there you go. Now we have the grids. Now we need to name them. Open the filters. We need to select the elements. First, now we want to, for example, okay, the vertical grids. Okay, grid name for here we put from, for example, letter A. Okay, it's a letter for the name. It should be true. And is it vertical or horizontal? Vertical, true. Yes. Flip, no, we don't want to flip it. And then run the code. Yes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J in order. Perfect. Now we want to select the horizontal ones. Exactly. Here we want to start with the number. It should be false because it's a number. It's a horizontal false. And let's not flip yet. Exactly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to just switch it back here, and then 7. That's perfect. And if you want to flip it, just Ctrl Z and again put the flip on the true and run the code. That's perfect. That's awesome. And you can do it for any other CAD files, any other object here. Of course, it would be a little bit different if you, for example, want to make a foundation, a floor, or beam, anything else. But do not worry. The general process and the general scripts would be like that, and I'm going to make some tutorials for other objects like the foundation, floor, beams, columns, and like them in the future. And we will see together how Dynamo can help us to make the approach and task like this faster and easier. Okay, it takes a little bit time for us to make this script, for both of the script, but consider, pay attention that this is just one time. Since now on, in any other project, if I want to open a new project or an existing project and change the names or make the grids, just by 1 or 2 clicks, I can make grids and name them. So it's wonderful and it's amazing. This is a magic of the Dynamo. I'm really grateful for today's tutorial. Please put in the comments your ideas and your interests for this video, or maybe if you have any question or any new idea for the upcoming videos, put it in the comments. And also you can send me a message through email or send me a message on LinkedIn. I will be happy to contact you guys and speak and discuss about the different scripts in Dynamo or Revit, and it's really enjoying for me. Also, if you want to have a collaboration in your office, in your companies, for your projects, I would be welcome to help you guys. Just send me a message, email, or LinkedIn. Thank you guys. See you for the next videos and next tutorials.